may not have heard of Ferguson until recently, if at all, but the city in St. Louis, Missouri has hit the mainstream media. The reason? The death of 18-year-old Michael Brown and the aftermath following it.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Peaceful demonstrations turned to protests, some of which have been violent. A curfew was enforced by Missouri Governor Jay Nixon, and now the arrival of the National Guard. Michael Brown was an unarmed black teenager shot by police officer Darren Wilson moments after this suspected robbery. But accounts of how it all went down are contradicting. According to reports, Brown was originally stopped for jaywalking and all shells at the scene were from the officer's gun. Police have said that Brown struggled with the officer, resulting in Wilson being treated for swelling on the side of the face in hospital afterwards. But some witnesses say Brown held up his hands and was surrendering when he was shot in the head and chest several times. Many details remain unclear. What is clear from the conflict that has followed is the racial divide in Ferguson. Michael Brown is the immediate incident, but the reasons behind the developing tension go years back.
Never an excuse for violence against police or for those who would use this tragedy as a cover for vandalism or looting. There's also no excuse for police to use excessive force against peaceful protests or to throw protesters in jail for lawfully exercising their First Amendment rights.
First, let's take a look at some statistics. According to Missouri Attorney General Chris Costa, Ferguson is 67% black, but the city has an overwhelmingly white police force and government. These statistics point towards an unrepresented 21,000 citizens in Ferguson. When you take a look at the racial profiling statistics for Ferguson's police force, it is apparent that from all the stops and searches of black people, only 21.7% were found to be carrying contraband, meaning 4 out of 5 of those arrests were innocent. Another thing that should be known about the police in Ferguson is that they are part of the Department of Defense 1033 program, which distributes surplus military equipment, including automatic weapons and heavy armoured vehicles. St. Louis County received 12 5.56mm rifles and 6.45 caliber pistols from the program between August 2010 and February 2013. Local police have been firing rubber bullets and tear gas and have been met by looting and anger from Ferguson citizens. One person was left in a critical condition after being shot during the continuing protests. Groups have assembled across the US to share in a moment of silence and solidarity with each other under the banner National Moment of Silence for Victims of Police Brutality. The situation of police brutality is not just centred in Ferguson, but the incident has brought many together to stand against it.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Thousands of people came together in over 90 vigils with community activists known online as Feminista Jones, saying it's not just Ferguson, police brutality is pervasive, it's happening in so many cities. A private autopsy has taken place by Dr. Michael M. Bandon, former chief medical examiner for the city of New York, who was hired by the Brown family.
There are freedom! This ain't free! We're not free! We're not free at all!
Response to what happened to Michael Brown is not the first time, but it is the final straw in a stack of racial tensions. There is little clarity of what occurred during the incident. The police in Ferguson have been accused of racial profiling in the past, and now they are under greater scrutiny.
Let's seek to heal rather than to wound each other. As Americans, we've got to use this moment to seek out our shared humanity that's been laid bare by this moment.
They have now fired onto the crowd for a second time. Violence has erupted in the city of Ferguson. They are firing rubber bullets.